Central Illinois' best source for news and weather. WAND News at noon starts now.
Well, coming up on WAND News at noon, 2 people shot and police now looking for a suspect. The shooting investigation underway in Champaign. Well, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on WAND News at noon. I'm Karen Eisert. We'll have a quick look at our forecast with Bob in just a moment. But first, new developments this afternoon. A second person arrested in the death of a Decatur 2-year-old. WAND's Darren Mullen joins me now. Darren, who do police have in custody?
Karen, Decatur police arrested the mother's boyfriend. This man, Anthony Myers, was arrested this morning in connection to the death of 2-year-old Tanaja Barnes. The 25-year-old is facing preliminary charges of endangering the life of a child, endangering a child resulting in death, and murder. Myers is set to appear in court tomorrow morning at 8:30. The child's mother appeared in court yesterday. Twanka Davis was formally charged in Tanaja's death. Her bond is set for $1 million. We'll have more on this developing story coming up at 4, 5, and 6. Live in the studio, Darren Mullen, WAND News.
Now, first weather from Storm Center 17, home of the exclusive Miles Storm Runner Equinox.
We're wrapping up the work week weather-wise pretty nicely out there. We're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds. It is kind of chilly, and that wind kind of adding a bite to the feels like temperature out there. Our live Roto-Rooter cam right now showing some blue sky, but also showing some clouds as well. Eventually, the clouds will win out later today. Temperatures 30s and 40 in Springfield right now, 40 in Lincoln, 38 in Decatur, and we have a lot of readings into the upper 30s and some middle 30s as well. Current winds out of the east at around, we'll say 10 to 15 miles per hour, and it is adding that bite to the air. That feels like temperature. Feels like 29 in Decatur, 33 in Springfield, 30 in Mattoon. So make sure you have the heavier coat as we move into your Friday afternoon. Your hour-by-hour forecast, we go from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy by 3. I'm thinking a high right around 45. Thickening clouds late afternoon into the evening, right around 40 at 6. We've got showers and storms in the forecast. I'll let you know if they'll be severe as we head into the weekend coming up in a little bit. Karen?
Thanks, Bob. New at noon, a suspect is still on the loose after leading officials on a multi-county, multi-agency chase this morning. Around 4 this morning, Sullivan Police and Moultrie County deputies were in a car chase with a suspect wanted in a home invasion. The suspect led authorities on a chase through Moultrie, Douglas, and Champaign counties. During the pursuit, a Douglas County deputy crashed his SWAT car. He is okay. The multiple agencies were able to stop the suspect, but he fled on foot. Well, new details. Champaign police need your help looking for a gunman. Officers rushed to the 2400 block of North Neal Street just after 7 p.m. last night to a report of a shooting. At the scene, police found evidence of a shooting. They were later informed 2 men showed up to the hospital with gunshot wounds. A 33-year-old with life-threatening wounds and a 24-year-old with non-life-threatening wounds. Police say preliminary information suggests this shooting was not random. Anyone with information should call the Champaign police. Well, leaders with CU Fresh Start hope several young men will choose a path outside of violence. The group handpicked 11 people who have been associated with gun violence in the area. It's an initiative to put guns down and end violence. Local law enforcement and leaders reached out to people who've identified and affiliated with gun violence. Several of them spoke about the violence impacted in their lives.
I was that young man before. I really wish there was someone that could sit me down and gave me the opportunity prior to me going to prison to give me an opportunity to change.
Well, this is the 5th time CU Fresh started work with law enforcement to reach out to people associated with violence. Well, a warning, some may find this video disturbing. Decatur police are investigating a video circulating online. It shows people trying to get a baby to smoke something. Many of you have reached out to WAND News with concerns about this video. Police say they do not know if it originates from Decatur. If you know anything or know the people in this video, you are urged to contact police. Well, one person is recovering and another is fighting for their life after a fire broke out at a housing community in Decatur. Decatur fire crews responded to Spring Creek Towers yesterday around 4:30. A resident in the building says there was a lot of smoke.
You couldn't see through the blackness of the smoke. You couldn't even see the wall on the other side of the hall. The
cause of the fire is under investigation. Well, today, state lawmakers will announce the findings of the study on legal cannabis. The study will look at the economic impact it would have in Illinois. It will also review the demand for cannabis in the state and how quickly it will impact the medical marijuana industry. And this comes after Governor J.B. Pritzker called for the legalization of recreational marijuana in his budget address earlier this week. The hope would be that taxing it would create new revenue for the state. Lawmakers have been touring the state since January, getting public input on potential legalization. And as the WANDTV team found out, officials see both positives and negatives.
Prohibition hasn't worked. The war on drugs has harmed communities and people, and we have to undo that harm.
The bad guys don't go away. Matter of fact, they come back because they can undersell the price of what the state is selling.
Well, for a complete look on the proposal, just head over to our website, WANDTV.com. Well, sex education classes could change across the state. Lawmakers introduced a House bill defining consent in sex ed curriculum. Teachers already talk about consent as part of the classes in public schools, but the bill would put uniform teaching strategies for the programs in place. Well, parents came out in crowds to support a local preschool in Springfield. They were there to show support for the Washington Park Preschool. The school received word the Park District would no longer offer the program after May 24th. Many parents are surprised and disappointed by the notice.
It was very nice to hear from members of the community who are genuinely using this asset, this hidden resource and treasure in our community, and I think most of them made that very clear tonight.
Well, the park is expected to make a final decision on the closure by April. Well, also new at noon, the Champaign County Board okays 2 more loans for the Champaign County Nursing Home. The board voted 12-10 in the meeting last night. Loans will help pay for bills at the nursing home. The county board first approved the sale of the nursing home for $11 million last May. And health officials say there could be more cases of measles in Champaign County. They have 3 more cases pending lab results. 4 cases have already been confirmed. The health district says one of the patients was vaccinated late in the current outbreak. It still hasn't been determined whether the person was infected before vaccination and then developed a milder case of measles, or if the symptoms came from the vaccine. Despite this, the health department says you should still get vaccinated.
Measles was almost eradicated a few years back. It is coming back. We have measles outbreaks going around in many communities across the nation. Measles, it's coming back because a lot of people are choosing not to vaccinate. And we know for a fact that the measles vaccine is highly effective. In fact, of all the vaccines, measles vaccine is one of the most effective vaccines.
Officials say none of these cases involved recent international travel. Well, the Boys and Girls Club in Decatur honored Black History Month. The night included food, music, poems, and more. Keynote speaker Lawrence Trimble went over the lives of prominent African Americans and how their stories can inspire children today to reach their own goals.
Any person who has done anything notable in their lives had first had to believe in themselves, and I want to talk to the young people and tell them that, you know, they can do whatever they put their minds to.
The Boys and Girls Club helps provide after-school programs for children in Decatur. Well, the iconic giant slide at the Illinois State Fairgrounds is now under contract to be sold. The slide is expected to stay at the fairgrounds. The current owner tells WAND News the buyer is from out of state, and the deal is expected to be completed the first week of April. The giant slide was built back in 1968. Well, today the annual Home Expo starts in Springfield. It's held every year by the Springfield Area Home Builders Association. It's at the Bank of Springfield Center from today through the 24th. This year it includes Lego contests for kids ages 5 to 12. You know, Bob, what I want to talk about is this sunshine.
I know, isn't it nice?
We're finally getting a chance to throw the shades on today.
It's so nice to have the sun.
I saw you throw up the, was it Decatur's tower cam?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, how beautiful.
It's nice to see that, and you know, you get in the sun this time of year, and it's just starting to feel a little warmer as spring gets closer.
Ooh, I love when you say spring gets
and
closer.
And that sun's getting higher in the sky, so it won't be long, about 26 days until spring. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at this morning's chilly lows. You know, we still have the cold air hanging around. Back to reality, right? Our average low is 25, and we bottomed out to the middle and upper 20s, 28 in Decatur and Champaign. Springfield, you woke up to 27, 29 in Shelbyville, 32 in Effingham. And in JC's 3-degree guarantee, he's going with a high today. Ooh, it's kind of mild. That's nice, of 45. But we've got changes, showers, and some thunderstorms. I'll let you know if those will get a little frisky, those storms, into the weekend. And talk about windy and colder conditions after that. Your forecast after the break.